This is the third time I've attempted to film this video. Yeah, I'm actually sick of having to make this intro. I've said these words so many times now, but yeah, East Kilbride should win the Lowland League tonight. That's Mick Kennedy, that's Cy Ferry, and their squad of players. Tui Daramola, who used to be at Kelty Hearts and Bowness Athletic. We've seen him play a number of times. Really exciting squad, and a really exciting time for that club. Right, and why have I done this intro so many times? And why have I set out to make this video now for a third time? Well, because of the f***ing rain. I don't know if I can remember a time of like 1 or 2 months where I've had so many games called off. But yeah, today, Civil Service Strollers v East Kilbride. East Kilbride, if they win, will be crowned champions of the Lowland League. Yes, they've still got all the playoffs to go, and they've won the Lowland League twice in their history before without going up. But I'm interested to finally speak to Mick Kennedy, Cy Ferry, some of the players and the fans that should be in Edinburgh tonight, ahead of what could be a massive, massive day for the football club. I think I just heard on the radio, I literally caught the end of the segment of the news that Dundy Rangers has been called off again. I'm not sure I heard it right. I think I did. It's 4:30 right now. I know they had a pitch inspection at 3:30, but I'm gonna pull over and just check that Civil Service Strollers ain't called off as well. I've got a bad feeling. Right, we've safely pulled over. Let's check. Yes, Dundee is off. 5th game this season Dundee have called off. Wow. How that game wasn't played at Hampden or Tannadice or a neutral venue, I don't know. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, let me just check Civil Service Strollers Twitter account. Off! This channel is actually in the mud. What is wrong with the pitches at the moment? It's Scotland. It rains. Unfortunately, the referee has deemed our pitch unplayable. Most of the pitch was fine, but there were 2 areas of the pitch he wasn't happy with. Our groundsman has been working on it all day, trying to get the game on, and we were confident it would be, but it's the ref's call. If the groundsman's been working on it all day, why couldn't they have foreseen that this could have happened and played it at bloody Spartans or somewhere? Should we still go to a game? Will I even get a video out of this? Just looking at whoever's playing today. Right, a few people have been tweeting me, and a lot of the times recently when these things have happened, there just hasn't been an option for me to go to a game and make an interesting video out of it that's even sort of remotely close. But there is one option tonight. I'll see you down there. It's turned into a lovely day. It's not even raining. The whole Dundee pitch situation's crazy, isn't it? Listening to Clyde 1 on the way here, so much uproar about it. I just don't understand why, particularly this week. All right, it's not the done thing to play games at different stadiums, but like for a lot of the grounds that usually struggle, why wasn't it just for this once? Because we knew there was going to be bad weather. Why didn't they just say we're going to play it at a different ground? That's with Dundee, that's with Civil Service Strollers, because Dundee v Rangers has been rearranged now 2 times, been postponed 2 times. So has Civil Service Strollers v East Kilbride. That game has been postponed twice for them. Actually looks pretty good, the pitch here. Look at that. Apparently, just chatting to the bloke with the ladder over there, it's been raining all day, but for some reason, absolutely no issues with this pitch. And look, yeah, the goal mouth's a little bit muddy, as goal mouths are. But on the whole, check that out, look at that. It's such a key point of the season as well. Obviously, a lot of the leagues are coming to an end. We're coming towards the time of all the playoffs and stuff. And yeah, there's not really that much time to get the fixtures played. So Just glad this one's on tonight.
Graham Drummond, I'm the club secretary at Trinent Football Club.
How's things going for you this season? You've just recently won the Lowland League Cup.
Yeah, that's been a nice bonus towards the end of the season. Our league form tailed away at home in the second part of the season. Unfortunate, but our away record's been really good.
And obviously there's a lot of postponements up and down the country at many different levels. Not postponed here today. How was the pitch holding up in all the recent storms and bad weather?
Incredibly well, considering the weather, because we've played virtually every midweek since January.
Wow, okay.
And we had 2 matches postponed because of the snow and rain prior to Christmas, but nothing since.
It's been all right since then.
It was touch and go today, but we didn't get the rain that was forecast. So.
And so with the Lowland League, with East Kilbride, obviously you've had a lot of tussles with them this season, let's say, in the league and in cup competitions as well. You've both been obviously very good footballing wise. With their games being postponed now, they should win the league just based on the amount of points they have. Will that put a spanner in the works in terms of the playoffs and that kind of thing going into the end of the season?
Possibly, yeah. I don't think it'll help them. They only need 1 point out of 4 games to win the league, so they should get that. But they've got such a big squad, I think they'll be able to rest a lot of players, their key players prior to the playoffs.
Have you ever known a time like this where there's been so many postponements like up and down the country? There's been so many, I feel like, in recent weeks.
Not really. I think this has been the worst winter come spring we've had for a long time.
We just want some sun, don't we? A nice couple of weeks.
I'm Sam, I do the social media here at Trinent, and I get to work here at the fortress of best in Scotland.
Another English Sam?
Yeah, no, we're a bit outnumbered over here, but you know.
So what does your role include then?
So I do the social media, the Twitter, the Instagram, travel home and away. It's been great.
And so it's your job to tweet about the pitch today?
Yeah.
Which is looking in good nick, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm surprised actually. I didn't. Well, as soon as I heard about a pitch inspection, I was like, right, get the draft out. So it's going to be off, but no.
But it actually is held up quite well by lots of things.
It looks better than in recent weeks as well, so I don't know if we've got some sort of miracle. But.
Yeah, I don't know how that's happened, but you recently won the Lowland League Cup.
Yeah.
How was that? Were you at the game?
I was there,
Broadwood,
yeah. Sunday, absolutely.
Against EK as well, because you had a few rivalries against them this year.
Unbelievable day. I was actually, the media bit was actually in the East Kilbride sort of section, so I was in the Lions Den. But yeah, penalty shootout was unbelievable.
Unreal. And you've done okay in the Lowland League since coming up from the East of Scotland League. Do you think East Kilbride have sort of run away with the league this season? If they were to get promoted and get out of this league, could you see Trinent maybe in the next 2-3 seasons, maybe even next season, winning this league and being an SPFL club?
I think we would have had every chance this season. You know, it's just a shame the way that the pyramid's structured. You know, you're never really going to have too much chance. You know, teams like us, Bowness, Cumbernauld Colts, I think deserve a better chance at it. We deserve a playoff. Is what is. Even East Kilbride, the fact that they're not guaranteed to go up yet,
they've won the Lowland League twice before, and they've lost out to Cowden Beef and Cove Rangers.
So it's always going to be difficult. We've gone toe to toe with EK at some points this season, just falling away a little bit. So I think a lot of people at the club would be happy to see the back of them, to be honest. Give us a better go at it next season.
You played them so much as well. You played them in so many cups and played them a few times in the league, obviously, as well.
That Scottish Cup game is one they won't want to talk about too much. But them again back here a few weeks. I'd be sick of the sight of us, especially after Sunday. But yeah, next season I think the boys can have another good go.
Amazing.
At it.
How's the turnout compared to usual then?
No, it's good for a weeknight. We've had some decent support in these midweek games, but obviously helps. We've not got too many games on in Scotland. I'll just hold through
I put out a tweet. I thought we'd see the whole of Scotland today, but
Newton Grange as well. Actually, so fair play to them.
Newton Grange is on too. Yeah, I passed that on the way here, so I was thinking.
For sure.
Okay, cool.
Good support from Rovers as well.
Yeah, Albion Rovers, good support.
Fair play to them.
Jamie, Albion Rovers fan. It's your first season in the Lowland League. How's it gone?
mixed of ups and downs. Like, we've beat some big teams like East Kilbride 3-0, but we've lost to some of the bottom teams.
You had a bad start, didn't you? But you've done better recently, and you're sort of up there mid-table-ish now, aren't you? Do you think you'll have a good chance of going for the league next season, maybe?
Probably, yeah.
Hopefully. And who's been the star man this season? Who's been the best player?
I think Nia Joseph for like goals, but defending has to be Ross Conley. He's kept them in most of their games.
Tough stadium to film at this. Not much height, and I'm not the tallest. A few poles of uncertainty as well. So you had a penalty shootout on Sunday, didn't you, in the cup final? How many did you miss?
I think 5.
Brock Watson, we saw a lot of him for open goal Hill last season, and he scored here for Trinent. He's shushing the crowd. He's shushing the Albion Rovers fans. How old's Lily?
She's 5.
5. 1-1.
It's not great, is it?
Sure did he collect the money at the end of that check? Right, I will give you my thoughts on all the pitch debacles in this outro. But yeah, firstly, the game we went to, at least we went to a game and got a video up. We got to credit the Albion Rovers fans for turning up in their numbers away to Trinent in a meaningless game for them. And even for the Trinent fans and stuff, like I know they've had a few issues with some of the ultras recently, it's fair to say. They've been banned for the foreseeable, and so yeah, there wasn't a great turnout from them. But for the people that were there, the committee members and stuff for getting the game on, fair enough. All the volunteers that keep these clubs going, my hat is taken off to you guys all the time. I'm always so impressed by the amount of people working behind the scenes at these clubs who keep things ticking along during like really tough times for clubs like that at that level. But yeah, the Lowland League itself, I mean, if you're not really up there pushing for the title at this point of the season, or you're not in a relegation battle, there's literally nothing to play for. You don't really gain much of an advantage for finishing 8th versus 10th. Or I think if you finish in the top few places, you might be included in the League Cup. And if you finish in the top 4, you might be included in the SPFL Trust Trophy. So there is like slight little things to play for, but not enough to get fans to come out en masse. Which is sort of the drawback of the Lowland League and the Highland League is like, yeah, it's exciting up to a certain point. But then when you get to this stage of the season, if you're 6th or 7th, there's really nothing to play for if you're not going to push for the title. So yeah, that's my gripe with the Lowland League. I know there should be more promotion and relegation in and out of it. That's a conversation for another day. The pitches, yeah, I mean, it's easy to poke fun at the clubs that are up the top, especially if you support a club from like lower down in the leagues, I guess. But it's so disrupting, isn't it, for Rangers and their title bid to keep having that game with Dundee called off. They should have played it before the international break, meaning that if they would have won, they would have been top going into the international break, which psychologically, and that was before the old firm and stuff. And now they've got to probably reschedule the game for next week, meaning that it's before the cup semi-finals. So it's just kicking the can down the road, which is making it obviously hard for them and Philippe Clement's team. Again, woe is them, they're the biggest club, and if you support a team that isn't Rangers, I'm sure you can see the funny side of it. But just as a neutral in Scotland, you want to see all the games played out to the best of their abilities, and there's people probably looking around Europe and especially in England seeing these news reports of this one game keep getting postponed, and it's not a good look. I was pretty fair with Dundee when I went there the first time. You can rationalise it and be like, okay, this game's been called off, but when you now look at it, they've had 5 called off this season to this specific fixture, and they're just going to potentially play it again there next week. And you saw how poor the pitch was for the Motherwell game as well at the weekend. It's really not a good look for the club, and yeah, the stadium in general, not just the pitch. yeah, could do with a lot of TLC, let's say. There's parts of it that, for a top-tier stadium, it doesn't look very good. And I know that means of a lot of clubs are limited, but at least bare minimum has to be a good playing surface so you can actually fulfill your fixtures. And then civil service strollers as well. Okay, they're a small club. I can understand why those kind of games can get pushed back and postponed and stuff, but this is 3 games in a row now that East Kilbride have missed out on winning the league. And again, it's similar to Rangers. Like, this is a club that have invested a lot of money, invested a lot of time to win this league and to focus on the playoff against the Highland champions and then the playoff against the League 2 team to try and get up to League 2 and really bet themselves as a club. But are they being held back by the facilities of clubs? That might be harsh to say at this level, I suppose, but maybe it's a conversation for the Scottish football community to have, that pitches and facilities and stadiums and stuff do need to be improved the country over. As much as I always praise the grounds and I love them and they're old and they're classic and they're historic, and yeah, they have a good rugged feel to them sometimes, I think we have to be honest sometimes and be like, the facilities just aren't good enough at a lot of clubs. And I think that's been highlighted recently. The weather's been pretty bad. Has it been that bad? I don't think it's been too awful, but I don't know, I think there should be more contingencies in place maybe to get games played elsewhere as well. Like I mentioned earlier in this video, civil service strollers, there is a very open ground. Could they not have maybe foreseen that the weather was coming and played it somewhere else? I know that you want to play your home games at home and it might cost the club money to go and play it elsewhere, but maybe again, this could come down to the whole conversation we could have as a community in Scottish football and be like, can't we have like some sort of budget in place where if something like this does happen, then clubs can easily move it to somewhere else. I don't know. It's just not an ideal situation. There's playoffs coming up and, league split in the Premiership. I didn't even mention that as well. Dundee, now I think we'll know what they have to do, and I think that's sort of impacting Hibs and St Mirren. I've not looked into that side of it too much, but yeah, just frustrating for me as well. I've had like 7 or 8 videos now cancelled over the last couple of months. So yeah, I've probably rambled a little bit on this outro, but let me know what you guys think of the whole stadium situation and pitch situation, particularly with Dundee and the lower league games that have just been getting called off left, right and centre recently. It's not a great look, but hopefully we can get all these games sorted out and finished when we need to and on time this season. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to leave a couple of videos on screen. If you could click on one of them to carry on watching, that'd be hugely appreciated. Thank you so much and goodbye.